Okay, back on the Sylvania. Where I'm at now is basically have the underside of the chassis completed. You can see here I finished recapping the underside, and then also have replaced any out of tolerance resistors. But there were quite a few that checked okay, so I left them in. And I think the last time I was showing you work that I was doing under the chassis, I was attempting to restuff these caps. This is the other cap that was in the set, and I was able to get this one to be restuffed and to look original. But with this cap, I ran into quite a bit of difficulty in trying to get the old innards, the stuffing, or the old electrolytic capacitor. Basically, it's a 4-section cap, and it was so dry and it's so long, it's very difficult to get a hold of it without chewing up the outer cap. So I just opted to discard that and go ahead and install the electrolytics in. It doesn't look original at all, but so be it. So you can see the 4 caps here. These two, this is a 150 microfarad, 100 microfarad, a 10 microfarad, and a 20 microfarad, and these are attached to a new strip that I put in there. Used the same color coding wires as it originally had. That's just 22 gauge wire that I used, and they're all wired in. So all the electrolytics are complete, and then all the old wax caps that had looked like this are now have new caps installed. So, and of course, it gave all the terminal strips a good cleaning with lacquer thinner. Cleaned the underside of the chassis. Got a lot of the goo that was on the wiring from a lot of this melting wax that gets all over the place. Tried to get that off, so that turned out pretty good. A lot more room in the chassis now with the smaller caps. And then the circuit board is complete. I've popped the tubes back into it. I'm still short one tube. I think this is a 3BZ6. Still, I've got a couple of those on order. These two tested okay. I had one on hand. One's in original, and then I've got a couple more on the way. So, but everything else is complete on that. And really, the only thing I have left to do before rewiring everything and reinstalling, the last thing that I want to take a look at and check over is the flyback cage, or the flyback. You can see the flyback there. It's actually pretty clean under there. A lot of times the flybacks have a lot of dust and black stuff that gets attracted to it, and everything on it seems to be okay. I need to do a ringing test, and I'm going to do that. But there is one thing that I'm really kind of concerned about with this flyback. I'll show it to you right here. See if I can zoom in on it. See that right there? That is where the wax has come off. I can't see any indication that it melted, because there's really not wax on the bottom here. There wasn't wax on the bottom. But I have a little bit of concern about that. Come on, camera, focus. That being exposed and arcing. So probably what I'm going to end up doing is I mean, I've got two choices here. I can either use some RTV sealant, or I can just try to put some super Corona dope on that and hopefully get that covered to where I won't have an arcing issue with it. I haven't quite thought that one through yet. But obviously the flyback's good. We were getting a raster and had high voltage on our baseline test when I first turned this set on. So I don't think we're going to have a problem with this flyback at all. I've already checked the underside of the flyback and the resistors in there. There's one resistor in there and it checks out okay. The other work that I've done that I haven't showed you is I pulled the yoke off and did some cleaning on it and took a look at it. It has one resistor across it right here, and I replaced that resistor. It was out of spec. And then of course the windings were pretty dirty. So very, very carefully I clean those up. But you want to be really careful with that. You don't want any of these wires to be broke. It can cause you a lot of problems. So, and then there's the picture tube that we looked at last time. Reinstalled back in the cabinet. So really all I have left to do is I've got a couple of tubes that I'm waiting on, and then I will begin the process of reinstalling the circuit board back onto the chassis, reattaching all the wires, and doing a little cleaning, a little checking on the flyback, and then addressing this problem here, getting it wired back up, close it back up, and we'll be ready for a first power up test. So the next time I have a video, hopefully I'll have all the tubes. We'll be wired up and we'll be ready for a initial power up after restoration. Okay, thanks for watching.